Do you ever feel like, as a business owner, dealing with money is just really hard? Maybe you think that you're the only one who feels that way and everyone else has it figured out. Well, the truth is that money is super stressful and does feel hard for so many business owners. And there's a reason why that no one ever talks about. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So, if you feel like your money stress level right now is at a 9 or a 10, and you would like to bring it down to a 1 or a 2, you are in the right place because I'm going to share the exact framework that I use with my clients to help them bring their stress levels down. Now, most business owners feel stressed about money because they have big questions that they don't know how to answer. So, as a business owner, we're wearing all the hats, we're doing all the things, and sometimes the money part of it just feels like a mystery. So, in my experience, most people will never be able to answer their money questions correctly unless someone has explained to them the easiest way to do it. So, I think about it like this: if answering your money questions is like getting to the top of a mountain, the hard way to do it would be to try to scale the vertical rock face and go, straight up the front. When the easy way is more like around the back, there's a staircase that might take a little bit longer, but most people can handle it. And once you know it's back there, that's probably the route that you're going to take. So, this, I don't know, it might get me kicked out of the industry, but honestly, my fellow accountants are really not helping this situation because they either assume that if people are trying to go up the vertical rock face, they want to do that. They're a professional rock climber and they're good with it. Or they assume that everybody else knows that if you just go around the corner, there's a staircase back there. And the truth is that most people do not know that there's an easy way around the corner. So, once you understand this staircase framework that I'm about to share, you will be able to start having those light bulb moments, getting up to the top of the mountain more quickly. So, the way I invite you to think about this is using an acronym I call the BOSS method. So, BOSS are the letters, and I'm going to explain what those mean right now. So, when we have big money questions that we are trying to answer, we are at the last letter, the second S, which stands for strategize. So, when we are strategizing, we are trying to answer questions. So those questions, really common types could be, can I afford to hire this person? Should I invest in a piece of equipment or a new office space or something like that? Or what would happen if I launch a new product, I raise my prices, things like that. So if you're starting with a question that you can't answer, you are in the strategize step. Now, in order to actually answer those questions, you need information. So the next step down is summarize. And to be able to summarize, you need data. So, data that we use for summarizing can be lots of different things. So, that might be a profit and loss statement or an income statement, a balance sheet. That could be a budget, a forecast, a projection, or benchmarking, where you're looking at others in the industry and seeing what they're doing. So these are the tools that you might use, and you need good data in order to have those tools and use that to make decisions. Now, when I talk about where the strategized questions and the summarized data come together, that's where we're talking about finance. Okay, so if you've heard about like finance and accounting, and they're all the same in your head. This is the distinction, right? So, finance is when we're making those higher level decisions and we have information to help us. Now, if you don't have any of these things, if you don't have the budget, if you don't have the profit and loss statement, then we have to back it up another step to the letter O. And the O is for organize. So, with organize, it's really getting all of your financial information into one place. And for your business, the tools that would help you do that are things like your account statements from the bank, your QuickBooks account. You might use a spreadsheet or even a tax return has all of your information in one place. So getting organized and having all the information in one place is, something that is very critical if you want to be able to move on to the next step of summarizing it and using that information to make decisions. So when I talk about accounting, that's to me where organize meets summarize. And you have those two pieces coming together. So if we're talking about accounting, it's really looking backward and reporting. And if we're talking about finance, it's looking forward and answering those questions. Now, if you don't have anything organized, if you don't have a QuickBooks account, if you don't have bank statements that have all of your information in one place, you might be missing the next step down, the bottom step, which is building blocks. So, building blocks is really a checklist of the things that you need to have in place to ensure that you have your business and personal finances separated. Now, this is a big thing that a lot of solopreneurs, super small businesses actually don't even have. So if you kind of look at the staircase, the BOSS, and you can see why when we're trying to strategize, but we don't have the three steps below it in place, that's the reason why we're not going to be able to answer those questions correctly and confidently. We need to get all of those pieces. Now, if you are not sure about the building blocks, I have a free guide that you can grab at thevaluegal.com/notbroke that explains that checklist, each item on the checklist, and has some tips for how to get those in place if you don't have them already. So these things are kind of a run, don't walk to grab that checklist so that you can really make sure that you have those foundational elements solid. So when we think about the BOSS framework, like I said, most people are stressed because they have questions they're trying to answer and they don't have the other three steps finished. Now, even if you have the building blocks in place, where I work with most clients is on the organize and summarize steps, really trying to get the pieces of the puzzle in place there. So if you have a burning money question that is stressing you out, I would invite you to consider this method, the BOSS method, building blocks, organize, summarize, and strategize, and see where you're landing in that framework and where you might be missing some information. I think that will really help. You have those light bulb moments where you can finally understand, oh, here's the information I need to be able to answer those questions. I hope this helps. We will see you next time.